Last time on The Chicken Police.
Spit it out. What do you want from me? I have a busy night.
Busy?
I had to patch up 2 muscleheads a few minutes ago. Of course, they ran off and didn't pay.
What muscleheads?
Wait, let me guess. A ram and a bobcat.
How did you know?
Shit. What was their problem? Why did they come here?
The bobcat's hand was badly burned and something had sliced the ram.
Well, it's not an easy job to haul 2 unconscious roosters onto an abandoned ship and then set it on fire. So that ram and his partner, did they talk about something? About their plans, where they're going next?
The bobcat didn't say a word, he just growled. But the ram couldn't shut up, and he talks like a butler or something. He's got a very strange vocabulary, I must say.
What did they say, Bubo? Get to the point.
After they've done the job killing you, I guess, they said they have to kill a rat, too.
A rat?
Figuratively. An informer. Someone who spilled the beans and hurt Mr. Wessler's interests.
That's gotta be Zip. Damn, we're late.
I don't see him anywhere.
But that jerk's here.
Where's Zip, Timbo?
Keen observation, boys, because that's the most exciting thing about the story.
Let me guess. A ram and a bobcat appeared and took him with them.
Well, you could say that if it happened, but it didn't.
Then what?
Okay. When I arrived here, the hop dog was already closed. Zip wanted to shoo me away, but I managed to persuade him to talk to me a little. We're old friends, Sonny, you know, and I have this personal charm.
Yeah, right, the charm. Get to the point, Timbo.
Okay. So, he was totally crazy. I've never seen him like that before. He was flustered, flailing, and talking absolute gibberish.
He must have said something, since you're such great friends.
Well, he just said he'd go to the only place where there are even bigger scoundrels than those that are after him.
Really? I can guess what he meant.
I didn't have a clue. Anyway, after he closed the dog behind me, and then the cops came and took him away in handcuffs, I came to the conclusion that all of this makes no sense.
Zip, you clever son of a bitch.
Look at this mess.
Looks like he was in a real hurry, or was trying to erase his tracks.
Because he was trying to hide something. But where?
And most of all, what?
Let's take a good look around.
Look at this.
I'm looking, but what the hell could it be?
No idea, Marty. Guess it's best if we ask the owner himself.
Where do we find him?
Well, Timbo told us he's with even worse bastards than the one chasing him.
That's it. The Parliament.
No, Marty, but close.
Then, no way.
Clucking furry hell!
So they know we're still alive?
And they'd like to do something about it. We could only hope we'd arrived in time. If they'd taken Zip to the interrogation room, the hole as we called it, and beaten the truth out of him, we'd lose the trail and end up in a dead end. It was time to be fast and ruthless. God damn it, Zip. Why couldn't you stay out of this? Listen, Mon, would you do us a favor?
Can I be honest? Not really.
Oh, just a small thing. For old time's sake.
Me and my big heart. So, what do you want?
Call Bosco over here for some reason, okay? So that we can have a quick talk with Zip.
Okay, I guess I can do that. But you owe me one.
We'll thank you somehow, I promise.
No promises this time. Shoes.
Shoes?
Size 35, high heels, black.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Hey, Bosco.
Yes, ma'am.
Come over here for a second.
Right away.
So we were just about to listen to some sweet music when,
Didn't that damn jukebox break all of a sudden?
Oh, damn it.
Damn it, indeed, Zip. There was a wristband behind it, with numbers on it.
984-237-22 to be exact.
What? All that from memory? How the hell?
I have no idea either, and it scares me too, but that's not the point. Tell us about it.
That is, if you want to leave this place on your feet.
Okay. You got me. I'll talk, but only if you promise that the cops won't know about this.
Do we look like we're on duty? How did you know they were coming for you?
I got a tip-off from a friend that I should pack my things and go if I want to live. But I had nowhere to run. You know me. The hot dog's my everything.
So you thought you'd be safe here?
Of course. Ibben's people are everywhere, but, maybe it's harder to get rid of me at the PD.
Ibben was blackmailing you, am I right?
Of course he was. He was blackmailing everybody. He has a whole network of blackmail. A blackmail empire. Everyone owes him for something, and he knows something about everyone.
What was it in your case?
You don't really think I'd tell you, right? Even you can't be that naive.
What did you have to do for Ibben?
I never hurt anyone, all right? Let's make that clear right now.
I never said you did.
I just had to get rid of a package for the boss. That was the job. Quick, clean, simple, right?
Yeah? What kind of package?
A very heavy one.
Dead bodies are kinda heavy, Zip.
How did you know it was a dead body?
I didn't. I was bluffing, but thanks for the answer. Why did you keep that wristband?
Because it seemed important. And because, you know me, I'm trying to turn every situation to my advantage. That's the way Zip works.
How, exactly?
Who knows? It seemed important. It just fell out of the body bag, and I thought, look, this shit seems important, so why not?
That's why they want to kill you.
I have no friggin' way of knowing that. Why don't you ask them, huh?
What happened to the body, Zip?
I don't know, Sonny. All I had to do was drop it in an abandoned part of the hive.
I'm asking you for the last time. What's with the wristband?
I honestly have no idea, Sonny. It simply fell out of the bag when I threw it down in the alley. At first, I wanted to leave it there, but then, well, you know me, huh?
And that's the whole story?
That's the whole story. At first, I thought it was some kind of, code. But on a wristband, it's usually an ID number instead.
Like on prisoners?
Exactly. But I know from experience that prisoners don't get bands like this. Not in Clawville. It looks more like something from a hospital.
So where to next? Where did that wristband come from?
I got bad news, Marty. I only know one person who knows about medical stuff.
Oh, no. We were just there.
Sorry, partner. Bubo again.
Hello, Ursula, dear. Oh, what's the rush? Is there something wrong?
Wrong? That dim-witted, insane, ragged old stinky owl. That's what's wrong.
Whoa. It's all right, Ursula. Just tell us what happened.
What happened? You happened. And Wester's goons. It was supposed to be the only day of the year we could have relaxed a little.
We're sorry, Ursula. You're right.
Like I care, Marty. I'm tired of this. Tired of the bitter old owl, and I'm tired of waiting.
And?
Never mind. I'm going. This time, I'm going for good.
Hang in there, Ursula. And if there's anything we can do to help.
Anything? Of course there is, my dear. I never want to see your faces again.
Ouch. I'm gonna try to talk to the old owl, all right?
Good luck with that.
Oh, and Ursula, thanks for all you've done for us. With the car.
You know, I'm starting to regret it.
That was...
rough.
yeah.
But understandable. I only see Bubo once a year, and even that's way too much.
A lot of people feel the same about us.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, we are back. Hey, Boo-Boo.
Hey, what's up, Doc? Somehow we guessed we'd find you still awake.
Stop playing innocent. I've heard that little intermezzo. I have the ears of an owl, you know.
We're very sorry, Boobo. I'm sure she'll come back.
Of course she'll come back. She loves me. I don't know why. And she's afraid that I'll drink myself to death once she's gone for good.
She's not wrong about that.
What do you want? Haven't you caused enough trouble already?
We're here for some information. Then we'll be out of your hair. I mean, feathers.
Who cares? So what do you want? And be quick about it.
Okay. Question time. We will skip Ursula. Let's talk about the wristband.
What do you know about this wristband, Boobo?
Zip said they gave these to patients in hospitals. That's why we came back to you.
Something similar, yes, but not exactly the same. It's different.
And?
And what?
Well, what do you think? Where's this from?
How the hoot would I know, Sonny? What am I, some kind of psychic? That I put my hands on it and tell you?
Okay, let's try another approach. Do you have any idea why Wessler's men were looking for Zip so hard?
I don't. How should I know? Why should I care?
He had to hide a body. The body of someone Wessler killed. The wristband is from the corpse.
Really?
That rang a bell, old owl.
Well, boys, if I'm right, you're in deep shit.
That's more like it.
Tell us, Boobo.
So, Wessler, the wristband, and a corpse, huh? It looks very much like I know the connection. Or at least I have a hunch.
Out with it, Owlface.
Okay, don't peck me, chickens. Hobart Ibn Wessler has a relative who happens to be a resident at an insane asylum. The band is very likely from there.
Wait, a relative? What kind of relative?
Yeah. You don't know? I thought you were the detectives. Anyway, Ibn Wessler has a twin brother, Albert.
Albert Wessler.
You put it together very skillfully, Marty. Yes, Albert Wessler. He's a madman kept in solitary confinement.
Do you think he's the corpse? But why?
How the hell should I know that?
Thanks, Boobo. If what you told us is true, then this time we'll owe you one.
Will wonders never cease?
So, Albert Wessler. Which asylum do you mean, Boobo?
It's got some fancy long name. I don't remember, but I have a brochure. Let me find it for you.
Thanks, Boobo.
Well, here it is. Let There Be Peace Forever. Mental Institution for Ill and Damaged Minds. Quite a big fool.
Where can we find it? I've never heard of it.
It's a good 6-hour drive from Clawville. Maybe more. But you'll find everything in the brochure.
You're the best, Boobo. You finally proved useful.
Whew, finally? Now get your chicken scratchers out of here while I'm asking nicely. Just one more thing.
What's that, Boobo?
If that someone was really Albert Wessler, the trouble's bigger than you think.
It's always bigger than we think, Boobo. We're used to it.
You don't understand. Ibn Wessler never loved and respected anyone in his life like he did his brother Albert.
So what?
Then the problem's bigger than we thought. A cornered rat bites.
Well, thanks for worrying about us, Doc. But there's no way back from here. Too far, too late.
We're like hounds, old man. Once we've caught someone's leg, we never let it go.
Ooh, not while you're alive, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, goodbye then, fellas. And I wouldn't mind if you never visited me again.
The pleasure was all ours, Doc.
I think we're good. So we've got some more stuff. Wristbands likely from an insane asylum. Ursula got really mad at the old owl, but doesn't seem upset. Bubo that much. He's just dead inside. Who's the other ones? Albert. Well, he's also a rat and a dangerous lunatic who's the twin brother of Ibn Wesley. Did they switch places? You gave us the... Yes, there
You're
it is.
the best, Bubo. You finally proved useful.
We're waiting for you to call us. Okay. So let's... Is it on the map? Hotel Atlas, Weltering Nile, Zara Club, the newsstand. I assume we're going back to the Hotel Atlas.
We had to gather ourselves, take a deep breath, and think over what we knew so far. What the chickens had I got myself into? What had I dragged Marty into? Moreover, what had we pulled the whole city into? This was going to be one of those cases that changed things forever. But I wasn't worried about myself. It didn't matter to me. Too many pieces had been plucked off this old rooster. But Marty's different. He's too good of a bird and too good of a cop to end up like me.
A secret twin brother? Sonny, I'm starting to feel like we're really in a detective novel. A cheap one.
Yeah, but listen, Marty.
What is it, Boss Bird?
I think it's best if we go our separate ways.
What? Are you joking? I know you have a weak sense of humor, but there's a limit to everything.
I'm not joking, Marty.
Well, I certainly hope you are.
Whatever comes next, you don't need to be mixed up in it. You have someone to go home to.
Gosh damn it, Sonny. Can you hear yourself? What do you think? I endured all this to give up now? What do you take me for? No, pal. You're not getting rid of me so easily.
I just want you to keep your career and your life intact, you moron. Just accept it, shake my hand, and go home. Your wife, Laura's waiting for you.
One more word, Sonny, and I swear I'm gonna bash your beak in. I risked my life more than once tonight. You know why?
No. Why?
Because we're a team. We have been a team for almost a decade. I don't care what Blood Boil says or whatever's on a goddamn piece of paper. We're the Chicken Police, Sonny. And we always will be.
I'm sorry. You're right.
We're gonna go to that insane asylum and wrap this shit up fast and clean. Yeah, just like you said, even if it kills us.
Thanks, Marty. Without you, I'd most likely already be sleeping the big sleep.
No.
Birds of a feather flock together, right?
Like you say, partner.
Let's drop this before you start crying on me, okay?
I hope not.
You almost just did.
Clock off, Marty.
That's the spirit, the Sonny I know and hate.
No.
When all of this is over, I'm gonna go on that long journey.
Is there something new? Still nothing in the drawer.
You know, I thought about it multiple times that you might be Meredith H. Marble.
We've met her on a number of occasions, Marty. Remember? Her real name is Susie.
Maybe Susie's just an actress you hired.
You've read too much of that cheap garbage, Marty. There's no conspiracy theory. Susie's just a money-hungry little dame who made a fortune off of us. That's all.
Yeah, you're disappointing.
I know. I've had enough stimulation for today.
No, you haven't. Give me that. Nope, that's not what I want. I want the brochure again. There was a phone number on there, wasn't it? 555-966. Wait, that was the phone number, right? Yeah.
You're the best, Bubo. You finally proved
So apparently
useful.
I can't call it. Interesting. It won't give me the map, so
Please
there's
say the floor
something
inside
else.
is covered with conspiracy theory papers and notes written with your own blood.
More like dirty clothes and empty bottles, Marty. Sorry.
You're no fun, Sonny.
Well, you'll get old eventually, too.
Never.
What do you think, Marty?
What? You care what I think? You must have hit your head pretty bad.
Stop fooling around, Marty. I'm serious. So what do you think about everything?
Well, I think we're in deep shit. But to be honest, Ibn Wessler is in deeper shit.
Do you think he really murdered his brother? But why? And what does it have to do with Natasha and the threats?
It doesn't add up yet. Something's missing. Let's visit the institution and try to find out what we can about this Albert Wessler fella.
Exactly. If he's the dead body, we've got to know what the motive was. If we can't, and if he's still alive, we gotta ask him directly.
And what do you think, Sonny?
I think Ibn, Albert, and Natasha are the three key players in this case, and that all of it has something to do with the brothel.
And the fact that Natasha used to be a courtesan?
Yeah, that too.
Listen, Sonny, about Molly.
Oh, just forget it, Marty, okay? She's not part of my life anymore. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Forget it. Let's concentrate on the case, and on making it out alive, and helping Natasha, too.
Whatever you say, Boss Bird. So you think Natasha's really in danger?
It could be, or she could even be behind everything.
No, you don't believe that.
I'm not sure what I believe, Marty.
I don't
Let's
think she would have
see. Things
killed
got
her
mixed up at the brothel.
assistant. Okay. Things got mixed up. Got Wessler's twin and Ibn. Is there more to this? Ah. Oh, okay. Back to Natasha's secret. She was a courtesan before, and he tried to keep it secret.
Natasha used to work there, that's obvious. And Ibn wanted to keep that a secret. A secret, it seems, somebody else had to pay for.
Zip dealt with the body, kept the wristband to himself. Spent his key, and the evidence that Zip killed? No. No. No, it's gotta be
Somebody
somebody.
died for that secret. Zip hid the body, but he kept the wristband.
No?
Who could it belong to?
Somebody from the royal family is just a puppet. No, the dead body was even. Then who was the real killer? No dead body. Yes, Albert Wessler.
The dead body was almost certainly Albert Wessler, a resident of an insane asylum. But why did he have to die?
Okay. Got new places to go, people to see. We've got the insane asylum, a mental institution with a ridiculously long name and a ridiculously long history. Looks like one of those castles of vampire bats in those cheap horror movies.
So where exactly is this place?
A few hours' drive from here, in the middle of...
You think it's a good idea to go there? What if it's a trap?
I told you, you can still go back.
Huh, wouldn't you love that? No such luck, boss. If I get killed or locked up forever in an insane asylum, that's gonna be on you.
Thanks, pal. I deserved that.
So what do you think happened to the corpse?
Probably been eaten. Horrible to think about, but even if half of what they say about the hive is true, starvation, riots, arson, predation.
You're telling me. Makes my feathers stand on end when I think about what goes on in there. And we pretend we don't know about it. As if Roachtown isn't even part of Clawville.
This won't end well. I'm afraid soon Clawville's gonna burn once again. And because of its own foolishness.
Well, that's if another meat war doesn't break out first. 'Cause then, the whole wilderness will burn.
Lovely prospects, eh?
Either way, it was a damn clever move for Wessler to hide the body in Roachtown.
It's the only place no one will ever find it.
Like the belly of a burning ship.
Oh, I think that was an intentional red herring.
Sounds about right.
What about Zip?
Who'd have thought? I believed that little rat. I thought he'd changed. Idiot.
There's a point when it's too late to change, Marty. His past caught up with him. Whatever he did since then doesn't matter.
Not much.
Exactly. And that's the case with us, too. That's why I won't back down. Even though a voice in my head is screaming right now, leave it all to hell and have another drink.
Maybe we should do that.
Maybe we should.
No, we should not. Can I? It's got the place, but I feel like there's still something we need to do. I assume this is Roachtown? Oh, the meat war. The biggest and bloodiest conflict in the known history of the wilderness, ranging from 822 to 849 in the beginning, only the affected Altera, the two-headed continent, but in its later years, it spread to all 12 colonial provinces. About 80 to 90 million animals died after the war. 27 species were declared extinct. And we go yet?
I've had enough stimulation.
We were just talking about drinking.
I still have nightmares about the Great Fire.
Really? Were you alive then? How old are you exactly?
I was 3. And maybe it's not even a true memory. Just the collective memory of the city. I see the flames. I see the burning buildings. And I hear the screams.
Hey, wait a minute. I thought you weren't born in Clawville. Aren't you from Averia?
Exactly, Marty. We were just visiting Clawville when the fire broke out.
I'm surprised you ever returned.
Well, maybe that's the reason I did return, Marty. It's like when someone falls in love with their captor, you know? Somehow, I feel like this is my place. No matter how much suffering it brings, Clawville's fate is intertwined with mine.
Heavy stuff.
I assume we need to ask the last question.
Still trust her?
I never trusted her, Marty.
I mean, you believe her?
I'm sure she was honestly afraid. People don't fake it that easy. But I can understand why she didn't tell us about her former profession.
Or how she knows Molly.
Yeah, that too. And the death of Deborah complicated things even more.
Hey, Sonny, she didn't seduce you, right? I mean, Natasha.
Ah, don't be stupid, Marty. My old ticker hasn't been beating for a long time. Not that way, anyway.
Yeah, all right, boss.
Okay.
Okay, so the picture is more or less clear. Ibn's got his brother killed because he learned Natasha worked in a brothel.
No, that could be the case, but I believe the roots go deeper than that.
Which we'd only learn if we talked to him. I mean, if the corpse isn't him, because then we'd need a medium.
Which would be exciting, but maybe it's enough if we ask the doctor who treated him.
That too, yeah. But where's the fun in that?
Okay. I keep thinking that it's got to be the phone, because the number's listed on the sheet.
Hello. You've called the Let There Be Peace Forever mental institution for ill and damaged minds. What can I do for you, sir? Or madam?
Well, I'd like to inquire about a patient who I believe is being treated at your institution. His name is Albert Wessler.
I'm sorry, sir, but I can't give out that information if you don't have the password given to relatives. Do you have one?
Unfortunately, I don't have that. I'm not a relative. I'm calling from the Clawville Police Department.
Oh, I see. In that case, officer, I'd advise you to visit our institution personally. Our director and I would be happy to answer your questions.
Thank you, miss. I guess I'll do that.
We'll welcome you with open arms, sir. Have yourself a beautiful starlit night.
Oh, thanks. Goodbye.
See you soon.
There we go.
So,
We have to go there.
the thought gives me goosebumps.
Chicken bumps aren't good enough for you?
Ha ha ha.
I've had enough stimulation for today.
I just keep wanting to drink.
So, I get the couch?
It'd be better if I called Lewis. He'll open up a room for you to sleep in.
Whew, great idea.
I don't remember what Lewis's number was. 555-932.
Hey, Lewis, it's me again.
Oh, hello, Sonny. What's up?
Were you sleeping, pal?
Me? Oh, I wasn't. Anyway, I'm always at your service.
Would you open up a room for Marty?
Naturally, Sonny.
Thanks, Lewis. I'm not even gonna say it.
I will. You owe me one. Again.
Yeah.
We're just gonna keep owing Lewis, aren't we?
Sorry for the mess, Marty. I rarely have visitors.
Don't worry about it, Sonny. I didn't expect anything else.
Thanks.
I'd still like to take a peek inside. Oh, it gets more and more enticing.
Okay, now we can access the insane asylum. Chapter 4. Farewell, my love.
I I slept like I used to sleep years ago, like a miner or a soldier, empty, dead tired. Then I saw Tessa, my darling little daughter. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't recall her face. I reached out to her, but she just kept getting further and further away. Then I saw Molly. But she wasn't real, just the ghost of a memory. "I'm here," I cried, but all I heard was laughter. Not hers. "Who's there?" Suddenly, she appeared. Natasha. Just stood there laughing, but her eyes were cold. Then she said something. "Painted red, painted red, painted red." That was just a dream, Sonny. Nothing more. I looked at Marty and I saw the same thing in his eyes as he probably saw in mine. It's time to hit the brakes, to turn back, go home and forget about all of this. Of course, I stepped on the gas instead. Honestly, I wasn't expecting anything good, but this...
Ooh, just like a horror movie.
I was thinking the same.
Appearances can be deceiving.
Let's hope so.
Okay.
We should check in first.
Okay, fine. There's the nurse, corridor, resident. Anything else? The window. Ooh. Some color.
This picture...
It's very...
special?
These are the 4 founders? Is that what I'm picturing from the crest? I don't know. Maybe I'm really off.
Even if you manage to escape, there's nothing but hills and forests for 100 miles.
Imagine how many poor lunatic ghosts must haunt those woods.
Ooh, Sonny, you're creeping me out.
Do you still have do you still have your shotgun?
This guy seems strangely familiar to me.
You don't say. You've been treated here too. That would explain a lot.
Oh, don't be stupid. I'm serious. Take a closer look.
No.
Well?
No, it can't be. Are you telling me it's him? M.B. Davis himself?
I'm sure of it, pal. It seems the gossip was true. The eternal king of jazz in a madhouse.
Oh, no, no, no. The poor devil.
Can I talk to him? No?
We should go to reception first.
Okay.
Ah, like an angel from heaven, isn't she?
Yeah, half of her's still up there, I think.
That's rude.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Because she's a giraffe.
Of all the great wild ones.
Greetings, miss.
Is it really you?
Well, yes.
Yes, it really is you. The chicken police.
I'm afraid so.
Of all that's furry and plumy, that's fantastic. Oh, my goodness.
Miss, we'd like to ask...
Please, don't be scared. I'm just really excited. You know, I've read every book about you and your adventures, and I even collected newspaper articles when I was a little girl.
Indeed.
You can't imagine what an honor it is to meet you in person.
We really...
Oh, God, oh, God, oh, God. Take a deep breath, Miranda. Take a deep breath.
Are you okay, miss?
Yes, I am. I just needed some air. So, dear detectives, Santino and Martin, what can I do for you?
Well, miss, we have some questions, if you don't mind.
I'd love to answer all of your questions, detectives.
Okay, we've got a fan. Good old Miranda the nurse. Full of life, full of hope, full of almost everything, and she's a big fan of us, unfortunately. Overly nice nurse we met behind the desk, and she's an embarrassingly huge fan of the Chicken Police.
Say, miss, what can you tell us about this place?
Our institution was standing even before the Great Meat War, and during the war, it was transformed into a military hospital. Since then, we're relentlessly working on treating injured minds under the leadership of Dr. Quetzal, the famous specialist.
The place seems pretty empty. Do many people work here?
We have 32 residents and 7 nurses, including me. We also have a 3-person maintenance and cleaning staff, and, of course, the heart and soul of our institution, Dr. Quetzal himself.
I see. Now, this Dr. Quetzal, is he the director here?
Exactly. Director, scientist, researcher, patron, and doctor. And even a friend.
Quite a guy.
He certainly is.
So who is this Dr. Quetzal exactly?
He's a world-famous researcher of the mind, Mr. Featherland. He published countless books in the fields of psychology and psychotherapy.
Psycho what?
Unraveling the mind. It's the most crucial mission of the century, Mr. MacChicken.
That's really good to know.
So this doctor's some celebrity, right? Does he usually meet other important persons?
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
Well, like Mr. Hobart Wessler, for example.
Ah, yes. That's something you should ask the doctor himself, but unfortunately, I don't think he has time right now.
He's swamped, is he?
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. He is very, very, very busy. All the time.
I thought so.
I don't know if I really want to ask about the strange wristband.
Now, what can you say about this, miss? Have you seen anything like it?
Of course. Our residents wear these for identification. But how did you come by it? They only wear them inside the institution.
Huh. I see.
The wristband does belong to one of our residents. But I'm afraid I'm not allowed to tell you more due to regulations.
Oh, come on, Miranda. It's us, the Chicken Police.
Good job, Marty.
Sorry, I can't.
Miranda, this case is a matter of life and death. Lives are in your hands.
All right. All right. I'll do it. Albert Wessler. The patient's name is Albert Thaddeus Wessler.
Figures. Just as we thought.
Thank you, Miranda. We'll never forget this.
Please, don't make me blush. And don't tell anyone you heard it from me.
Oh, we won't. I promise.
Good job, Marty.
So when can we talk to Mr. Wessler?
I need to ask Dr. Quetzal. Please wait here.
Thank you.
Corridor.
We need to let them know we're here first.
No. She left.
Dr. Quetzal will see you.
No.
He's waiting for you in his office. Up the stairs, all the way down the hall, until the last door.
What a surprise. It's enough to mention Wessler's name and all the doors are open.
I wouldn't want to get mixed up in this, but do you think Albert is in danger?
Danger? What do you mean?
We haven't heard from him since he disappeared, and we're really, really worried.
I see. We don't know yet, miss, but let's hope for the best.
Great wild ones protect him.
Where is he?
No idea, Marty.
The smell of all that's furry. I'll never get used to it.
Well, reptiles have a disgusting body odor, Marty, but they feel exactly the same about us.
Exactly. Great wild ones, you scared the hell out of me.
I already sensed your arrival from afar. You know, snakes have a different sense of smell, and birds used to be our prey once upon a time.
Well, yeah. Luckily, we're living in civilized times.
Lucky. Please take a seat. How can I help you, gentlemen?
Okay, let's back up a sec, because we got people. Albert, so it is confirmed Albert actually has disappeared from the asylum. And then we've got the good old Doc. Green tree python, cold, distant, professional, and gives me the creeps. He's a real polyhistor, a scientist, writer, philosopher, and who knows what else. Walls, window.
Your office is rather Puritan. Simple, I mean.
Ain't that the truth?
Well, yes. I can't let my mind wander from my work. I only keep what's essential in my office.
I see. That makes sense. Why do you have bars on your windows?
Because it's a room like all the others, and I'm just an animal, too, like all our residents.
With the significant difference of you being a doctor and not a patient, am I right?
It's not as big of a difference as you'd think.
Desk. I assume the walls is
An
the
isle
same.
of reason in a sea of insanity.
Insanity is such a strong word, and it's mostly an abstract idea. Where does insanity start, and how long is one not insane? Interesting questions. Am I normal, or are you? Maybe neither of us.
You see, that's something I think about a lot nowadays.
If you like, I can give you an appointment.
Oh, this is your chance, Sonny. Don't miss it. We're already here.
Marty, clock up.
Alright, Doc.
A snake. I can't help it, but they make my feathers stand on end.
To be honest, gentlemen, your visit is anything but a surprise. I could even say I was expecting it.
What an introduction.
Please forgive me. I have the bad habit of immediately getting into the middle of things. How very rude of me. My name is Dr. Sessuous Quetzalcoatl, but most call me Dr. Quetzal to keep it simple.
The name is Santino Featherland, and this is my partner, Martin MacChicken, from
the predatory division of the Clawville Police Department. Your fame is one step ahead of you.
We're used to it.
Certainly.
We have some questions about one of your patients, if you don't mind. We'd like to talk to him, if that's possible.
Please be specific, Detective.
Look, Doctor, we're too tired to play cat and mouse. Not that snake and chicken sounds any better.
Very funny, I must say. Just what I expected from you two detectives.
We know you know it's about Albert Wessler, Ibn Wessler's secret twin. Ever since we've said his name, all the doors have miraculously opened. That's what we call a bullseye.
Well, yes. Why should I deny it? We're talking about a rather illustrious patient here, who's also a very particular medical case.
Now, that's much more interesting. So, are you willing to talk about him?
Because Albert, regrettably, has disappeared, and you are police detectives, I have no reason not to talk to you. Of course, I'm at your service, but you must understand, I can't disclose information about my patients.
Not even if it's a matter of life and death?
Everything's a matter of life and death in here, Detective. This is a hospital, even if it's primarily for the mind, not the body.
Still, I'd like to give the impossible a try.
Please, Detective, just do your job, and I'll do mine.
Okay, we can ask you some questions. Let's start broad.
What kind of a place is this exactly? I assume it wasn't built as an insane asylum.
It used to be a mansion. Construction started during the occupation in 622. Then it stood empty for almost a century, until finally it went to the crown of Clawville when Hector's great-grandfather took the throne. The rest is history.
How long have you been working here?
I've worked here for more than 30 years, but it's been in my family's possession for almost 150 years.
So if I count correctly, as soon as it went to the crown, it was seized by your family.
That's almost accurate, Mr. Featherland.
What a lovely inheritance.
I don't know what she necessarily would have. Let's ask.
How long was Albert a resident of the institution?
For quite some time. His first symptoms surfaced in his teens. Depression, panic attacks, and schizophrenia.
Was he brought here immediately after the first signs that something wasn't right?
You know, the biggest problem with an opinion on insanity is that animals are ashamed of it. That's the reason our institution stands out here in the middle of nowhere.
Because animals would rather hide what they're afraid to face.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
As far as I know, the Wessler family wasn't exceptionally wealthy.
Indeed, they were rather poor, but we offer our services gratis.
Then how do you sustain yourselves?
By the grace of the treasury of King Hector III, of course.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
My family and the royal dynasty had always been on good terms, Mr. Santino.
Interesting.
Tell me, Doctor, do you know Madame Zavas?
Just like everybody else, I've heard of her, but I never had the pleasure of meeting her in person. I'm sure she's an interesting case.
Oh, you can be sure about that. I'd gladly get you two together if I had the chance. A spare cell would suit her very much.
Is that so?
As it turns out, she likes small, narrow, secret places.
Oh, I see. What a coincidence.
Okay. Time to question the dumb.
Dr. Quetzal's a real mystery. But I can turn that to my advantage. I just need to focus on the strangest pieces of the puzzle. So when did Albert become a resident of your institute?
Albert and Hobart, or Ibn as you call him, arrived here almost exactly 4 years ago.
Could you describe that day more specifically?
It was not long after New Year's Eve, maybe the first week of the year, if I'm not mistaken. It was sleeting that day. Wind was banging incessantly on the windows. The power was going out for short periods of time.
What was your first impression of them?
I already knew the Wessler name. I knew who they were. Or at least I knew one of them, Hobart Wessler. He was famous. Gangster, moneylender, celebrity, lover.
And Albert?
He was new to me, an invisible gray ghost. The family had tried to keep his existence a secret.
Why?
Because they were ashamed of him, of course, Mr. Featherland. That's how it usually is.
What was your first impression of him?
He was silent, but observed everything that surrounded him. His eyes were constantly moving, never stopped for a second.
Was he afraid?
I wouldn't say so. It seemed to me that he wanted to move into our institution voluntarily. It looked as if he couldn't wait to be here, alone, locked up in silence and darkness.
Didn't you think of that as unusual?
Of course I did, but who am I to judge? It was rather special treatment.
Interesting. What kind of treatment did he get?
What kind of special treatment did Albert get?
You know, if an institution like ours has to accept a Wessler as a guest, there's bound to be some favoritism.
And complete secrecy, I guess.
Yes, but that's the case for all our patients, Mr. Featherland.
Of course. So in what way did he receive more than the others?
Basically, we don't admit anyone into our institution without a complete and thorough prior assessment. In the case of Albert, we put that aside.
So you didn't even know if he had anything wrong with him?
Initially, no. He was more of a guest than a patient.
Curious on this one.
How did Albert relate to you?
Albert was immensely sophisticated and polite. So much so that his true emotions and thoughts could not be deciphered.
And that's why you thought of him as an exciting case.
That's right, Mr. Featherland. I see you're starting to get to know me in some way.
I'm just doing my job, Doctor.
You and me both.
Okay.
Are you telling me Albert had multiple personalities?
We found out very quickly that there was no other reason for the cause of his seizures. He had a cold and calculating personality who sometimes, especially on stormy days, took the reins over their shared mind.
He had these seizures from the beginning.
Yes, Mr. Featherland, but they started to intensify after Albert left our institution for the first time.
He did what? Left the institution? More than once?
Oh, yes, Mr. Featherland. Albert left the institution on several occasions until the last time, when he failed to come back.
Quetzal's not only very observant, but he's addicted to details. I must focus on that if I want to get closer to the truth. Focus. Addicted to details.
When and why?
When and why did Albert leave the institution for the first time?
It was about 2 years ago. Mr. Hobart Wessler appeared and demanded we let his brother go free. Naturally, we obliged. We had no idea if we'd ever see him again.
But you did.
He returned the same day. Albert was ecstatic. He was unrestrained. I could almost say happy.
That was unusual for him?
I had never seen him like that before, Mr. Featherland. He just smiled and stared at the empty wall for hours.
Did he ever tell you what happened to him outside?
Of course he did. Albert and I had a good relationship. He was working on a painting for his brother.
Was it a painting of a lovely lady cat?
Oh, exactly. So you already knew about that?
Yes, Dr. Quetzal, I've seen it.
Is that where the part of the painting that we have came from. Details. Did Albert tell you about his relationship? Talk to you about Natasha. Tell you how he felt about the painting. Or work on the painting. Let's go with work on the painting.
So Albert left on many occasions to continue working on the painting.
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. Every time he came back, he was like a different person. But unfortunately, his seizures also multiplied and became more dangerous.
More dangerous?
Albert was hurting himself, and on one occasion, he even tried to hurt me. It was unprecedented. It seemed his confined personality was taking over their shared mind entirely, piece by piece.
Do you think the painting caused it?
Not the painting, Mr. Featherland.
But its subject.
Exactly. He was obsessed, right until that fateful day when he returned to us for the last time.
What exactly happened that day, Doctor?
It wasn't Hobart who brought his brother back that day, but two of his gorillas. Not literally, I mean. And Albert was in a terrible, terrible state.
What happened to him?
I don't like to talk about that, Mr. Featherland.
It could be vital to the case, Dr. Quetzal. Don't back down.
Oh, you're right. There's no use turning back now. So, Albert's tongue was torn out, or cut off, I don't know exactly, and he was blinded in one eye, or rather, one of his eyes was missing entirely.
So you're saying Albert was brought back horribly mutilated?
Yes. And they didn't give any explanation as to what had happened. They simply told me it was some kind of accident.
Dr. Quetzal is cold and professional, but he's also very confused. Maybe it's cruel, but I must exploit his vulnerability if I want to learn everything about Albert. Focus, confused.
You don't believe Albert had an accident?
You didn't believe Albert had an accident, is that right?
Of course not. I'm not naive. I knew immediately that Albert had been severely battered, and I was sure it had been his brother, Hobart.
Well, we don't know that, Dr. Quetzal.
Would you defend a monster?
Take it easy, Doc. One of the most critical elements of my job is not to make assumptions.
You're absolutely right, Mr. Featherland. I'm sorry I got carried away.
It's all right. Happens to everyone.
Don't know if we need to make assumptions. What was this condition? Stick with the details.
Pull yourself together, Doctor. What was Albert's condition after the incident?
Mind your tone, Detective.
Sorry, Doc, but I can see you're disturbed by these memories.
How could I not be? I'm not a monster. We're talking about a mutilated animal here.
So, what was he like after the incident?
Even more silent than ever. No surprise, I suppose. He was not only silent in words, but also in his soul and spirit.
What do you mean by that?
He never painted anything again, and his seizures completely stopped.
Did he paint the picture that's in the hallway?
What happened then? How did Albert disappear?
A few weeks later, Hobart came to visit Albert one more time. Albert had been in terrible condition by then. We even had to transfer him to another cell, a more safe one.
What did Hobart do during the visit?
He didn't do anything. He just sat and watched his brother, who was in an almost vegetative state by then.
Couldn't you manage to draw anything out of him? You or Hobart?
Nothing. For a while, he was trying to signal something. Perhaps he was too afraid. And most likely his fingers had been broken too, so he couldn't even write.
Do you think Hobart could have killed Albert?
It's horrible to say it, but I'm sure of it.
How did he disappear in the end? Did someone come for him?
That's what's most eerie about it all, Mr. Featherland. He simply disappeared. His door, which only I had a key for, was open.
Did anyone see anything?
No one. We interrogated the staff, even the patients. He simply vanished off the face of the wilderness. We don't know what happened to him.
Unfortunately, I have a hunch. Thank you, Doctor. You've been a great help.
Oh, well, I'm glad I could be of help. But please, I now must attend to my work.
We understand, Doctor. Thank you.
I don't think that went as well as I had hoped. Yeah, accuracy 60. That's fine. So he got the crap beat out of him by his brother. Interesting. What do we got? Clues. Wessler disappeared. We have a hunch about what happened. Yes. Ibn most likely killed his brother and made Zip dispose of the body. I don't know if I'm necessarily sold on that one. Professor's family governed mental health facility and its estate for more than 100 years, and he's cold, reserved, endlessly professional in his own field. But the thing that happened to Albert even got a rise out of him. No surprises there, I think. And Albert. Ibn took him out of the asylum on several occasions to paint the faithful picture of Natasha, so we've got a motive. And the half-century occupation, an attempt to conquer Clawville, has only been made once. The half-century occupation started in 622, lasted to 677. The Harar Empire took all of Clawville's territories except its colonies, and in the end, Clawville, with the help of Swalasso and Valvoslavia, took back control. Okay.
Is this cell like the others?
I would rather call it a room. But yes, it's like all the others, except there are even bigger ones than this.
Hold on. I don't know why I thought we had a key. Don't have any more questions for you.
That's quite shocking information.
I think you understand why we kept it a secret. If it wasn't for Mr. Wessler's demand, we'd never let any of our patients walk freely outside our institution.
Then the accident happened.
Accident? Ha! We didn't believe it, not for a second. After Albert came back to us, horribly mutilated, he was different.
Different how?
If someone got one of his eyes poked out and his tongue torn out, he'd be different, but not like this. Albert was a different person.
We believe you, Doctor. So, Can we take a look at Albert's cell?
I'd rather call it his room. Mr. Wessler lived in exceptional circumstances.
Thanks to the Wessler name, I guess.
Yes. Well, we try to make all of our patients stay as comfortable as possible, but Albert certainly enjoyed special favoritism.
I hope you don't mind if we take a look around in there.
That's not going to bother anyone.
Well, that's, surprising.
I've never seen a cell like this before, that's for sure. I wouldn't mind living here myself.
It seems that being a Wessler gets you privileges.
And a healthy dose of danger.
Mostly that, yeah. Let's take a good look around. I'm sure we'll find some answers here. I can almost smell them.
Well, I smell paint, ink, plaster, some kind of oil, aging paper, slight smell of rat, and great expectations.
What the dickens?
Unmistakable. Yeah.
This place is bad for you, pal. But if you've already jump-started your beak holes, then sniff out the solution.
I'm on it, Boss Bird.
Interesting that he mentioned that he came back a different person. Was the mutilated one actually Hobart Ibn Wessler? Did Albert rip out Hobart's eye and tongue to keep him from saying that that was who he was? I guess we'll have to find out. I'm going to go ahead and leave this episode here. We will investigate the cell and continue our investigation into this mystery next time. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you guys for being here, and I look forward to seeing you guys again in the Chicken Police. And as always, I hope you guys have yourselves a great day.